So, so I ended up talking to another spirituality dude today. The topic was, sexual trauma and sex and things like that. And I tried to help him understand. And he was trying to understand, but I was trying to help him understand, like, look, sexual intercourse is the most addictive and the most powerful source of energy or energy source that affects you mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, all that shit. Love is probably next to it to a certain degree, but love, based on what our belief is over here at Revo, love is a healing energy. You know what I'm saying? Sex doesn't heal you like that. It's the love that heals you, and maybe through sexual intercourse, you may be able to heal a person. But love and the healing of love does not require you to have sex. When you really, look at your life right now, people. If you really, really love somebody and you really wanted to heal somebody, you don't have to have sex with them in order for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? And love doesn't have that adverse effect on human beings the way sexual intercourse does. So he was like telling me like, oh, God made sex, like one of them spiritual things, like, oh, God made sex to feel so good, and if it wasn't meant to feel good, God wouldn't give it to us, and blah 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 blah. I was like, yo, check this out. What is the real reason sexual intercourse was created? Let's get to the source, because these niggas always telling me to go to the source. Go to the source of shit. Okay, let me go to the source. Let me go to the creator. Actually, let me go to your creator that you worship every motherfucking day and get your knees, your feet on the ground and your knees on the floor, and you pray to every day. All right? Let's talk to you about your creator. Let's talk about all the creators that everybody worship in every single religion in the motherfucking world. Listen, if you go into those books, what was the purpose and what is the true purpose of sexual intercourse? All right? And the true purpose of sexual intercourse is to create children. It's not to create these feelings and everything else without the children. Children is the number one reason why human beings were given the ability to have sexual intercourse, is to be able to reproduce them and that other person, and whatever family tree they came in was to be able to revolutionize them in a mixture to be a better human being on this motherfucking planet, man. When you look at your life right now, if you look at your parents, you can really, if you're really honest, your drive as a kid was to be better than your parents. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing better than your parents and you're repeating the same thing as your parents, then you're suffering from some type of sexual trauma. More than likely, not every single person, but more than likely you are. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like this thing right here, right? So this thing right here, let me show you. Let me show you this. You see this right here? You see that? You see this right here? You see this big old thing? What was this intended for? This was intended, right? This was intended to be able to sit down on, right? Right? Whoever created that intended it for that purpose. Look at that. You see that? Now, if I take this and use it for something that's not intended for, I can pick this motherfucking thing up right now, right? And bash somebody's motherfucking head in, right? That's not what that thing was created for. That's why I look at sexual intercourse when I was talking to that dude. I was like, that's what happens. So when you bash somebody's head in with that thing right there, you can create something inside you that makes you into a murderer, that makes you solve your problems by bashing people in the head with objects and things similar to that. You see what I'm saying? And you could become addicted to that. You understand what I'm saying? So when we really, really look at it, you know what I mean? And a lot of people may have a problem with what I'm saying, dude. It's just like, you know what I mean? Are we really solving problems, right? Or are we just talking about the problem? See, a lot of the times, dude, you know what I'm saying, people have lost their inner child and their problem-solving skills and their creative thinking skills, right? So they know how to solve a problem, but they'd be so fucking scared on using that method in order to solve the problem because they're addicted to that problem that they got. It's like in relationships, right? You know what I mean? We all know that we're not supposed to be messing with that person, right? We know that God sent us an indicator to be like, yo, we ain't supposed to be fucking with them. But what do a lot of us do? A lot of us ignore that, don't solve the problem the way we should, and accept it is because we're addicted to that energy inside that person. And what usually happens? You go in that relationship, you become addicted, you be with them over and over and over again. This is what I'm saying about the trauma. It's a pattern. So if you're in a relationship for 5 years with somebody, 4 years, to just say 2 years, and you got an indicator that was a bad person, like it hits your soul, it hits your intuition, like, yo, I ain't supposed to be fucking with that person, right? It hits you, right? And you continue with that shit, that's a trauma because you're creating a pattern now, right? Now you become addicted to that shit over and over and over and over and over and over again. And a lot of times it's because that person left you and you didn't leave that person. The person that caused you the trauma eliminated access to them and left you with the trauma, and now you fucked up. It's like a crackhead and a drug dealer. It's like the crackhead keeps going to the drug dealer, but what fucks up the crackhead is when the drug dealer leaves and they can't be found, he goes to jail. Now the crackhead is real fucked up. So now the crackhead got to jump into another situation, relationship with another drug dealer. And then when that drug dealer, you know what I'm saying, goes to jail or dies or whatever, that crackhead has to go find another dealer. That's how y'all relationships look sometimes. Y'all go from relationship to relationship with the same damn trauma. See, this is how I know. Right? And when I talk about things like this is to be able to improve life. This is not to be able to hurt anybody's feelings at all. It's just to improve your life. Like I said, if you're going to solve problems and everything like that, problems is not being solved based on emotions like that. The emotions come in when you're trying to solve the problem. But the emotions doesn't come in while you're creating the medicine and shit. Some problems need to be solved, and there needs to be some extreme measures to happen, or some extreme methods to be able to happen. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is with, when you look at the sexual trauma, back in the day, as far as like, you know what I mean, as a child, women who've been dealing with this, or men who've been dealing with sexual traumas and everything like that, when you align with your inner child through a process of healing, when you truly heal, right? When you truly heal, you're going to get connected with your inner child. And your inner child is start going to give you problem-solving skills. When we were kids, we saw problems and we didn't give a fuck. We'll try every motherfucking thing possible, dude. You know what I'm saying? We were the most creative. We was problem-solving machines. We were getting puzzles, checkers, Connect Four, fucking chess, all these different games and everything to improve our brain to be able to solve problems. But the trauma caused us to lose it a lot of times. And the pattern of trauma has caused us to lose it. You know what I mean? So if you're in a relationship right now and you have some type of sexual trauma and you know it, that you have that sexual trauma, then you need to be able to change that. That's what I told him. You got to be able to change it. You got to be able to remove yourself from that situation. Because once you get healed, once you have that healing with your inner child, you're not going to want to be in a relationship. You're not going to want to have sex with nobody on this goddamn planet, probably. You'll probably have sex with yourself. But you're not giving your body to nobody else like that for a long, long time, probably. Right? And if you do give your body to somebody, it's not going to be the purpose of love and affection and trying to cure some loneliness, or because you're trying to make someone else happy, or you're trying to make somebody else feel good or whatever like that. It ain't going to be for none of those reasons. One of the biggest reasons that's going to happen right now, I'm telling you these people this right now, one of the biggest reasons when you have a healed inner child, when you start having sex again, it's going to be able to create children. Because you're going to be a better person. You're going to have a better soul. You got your inner child. You align with your masculine and feminine energies. You're on your God-given purpose. So when you do have intercourse, it's to have children. And that's why I told him that. I told him the reason why it feels so good is because God made it so we can keep having children over and over and over and over again. This is how this world has got populated, by having sex over and over again. That's the reason why it feels good. That's the reason. That's the main reason. So if we go back to the source and start doing things from the source, this is like the same thing they tell me about eating, right? They tell me like, oh, you need to eat from the ground. You need to eat from the land or whatever. Okay, then you niggas out there need to go ahead and start dealing with the source. What is the source of sexual intercourse? Create some children. So when I look at your life, I should see 10, 15, 20 children. by now with all the goddamn sex y'all having. Later.